This ain't the same New York Giants. We're not walking into 2025 hoping for a 500 season. There's a new vibe in New York, and it all has to do with two things: QBs and the defensive line. We have to talk about what was holding us back. Daniel Jones was trashed for all 6 years. And I don't mean just a little, I mean every single year. The Giants sucked because of crappy QB play, who gave us nothing but false hope. We were supposed to be the answer, but instead, he became a false hope. In 2023 alone, Daniel Jones played 6 games before his season ended. Here's what he gave us: 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, turn-worthy play rate, worse than Zach Wilson, big-time throw rate, bottom 3 in the league, passer rating. Only Mac Jones was worse. The crazy part, the narrative still protected him. Weapons were bad, offensive line, injuries, coaching turnover. But let's be real, other QBs would have dealt with worse and produced better. So as Giants fans, what do we get for all our patience? A $160 million contract and one of the most unwatchable offenses in the NFL. He couldn't even beat the Cowboys, for crying out loud. You know, the team that hasn't won a Super Bowl since I've been born. Not even Drew Lock could have saved us after all that crappy QB play. The guy with the cannon arm, no GPS, a highlight reel made entirely out of turnovers. So between Daniel Jones and Drew Lock, we had a turnover machine and a confident bum. No consistency, no control. Now the QB room isn't filled with a whole bunch of bums. Let's start with Russell Wilson. Big time throw rate, 4.9%, top 10 in the league. Turnover worthy play rate, one of the lowest in the league. QB rating under pressure, top 5. Did I forget he's a Super Bowl champion? He's not 2014 Russ, but he's still smarter, faster, and more composed than anything we had in years. Lastly, Jackson Dart, the rookie. Mobile, confident, gunslinger mentality. He's raw, but the potential's there. Think early Baker Mayfield meets Will Levis, but with better leadership traits. Now I know what you're thinking, well, if Daniel Jones and Drew Lock were bad, then what about Brian Daboll? Everybody wants to say he's the problem. He lost the locker room. He was not the real leader. He fumbled his coach of the year momentum and fell off a cliff. Brian Daboll was never the problem. In fact, he was the only reason we even looked functional in 2022. He took a team with Daniel Jones, Richie James, Isaiah Hodgins, and a banged up Saquon Barkley and dragged them to an offense that produced a 9-7-1 record and a playoff win. Crazy part, none of them are on the team anymore. That's not luck, that's coaching. What happened after that? Reality hit. Injuries, practice squad offense, a defensive line that couldn't get off the field in the first half of the season. You show me any coach who can win with Daniel Jones at quarterback, 4 backups on the offensive line, and no wide receiver 1. And now that he got a real QB room, I promise you, he's going to remind people why he won Coach of the Year. Because Brian Daboll, when he has tools, he builds a system. He wins, plain and simple. But let's talk about the real bullies of the team. The 2025 New York Giants defensive line. Oh man, where do I start? We got a straight up wrecking ball in Dexter Lawrence. You already know what he brings. Recognized league-wide as the best nose tackle in all of football. Now adding Brian Burns, one of the most explosive edge rushers in the NFL. The Giants finally got an alpha edge rusher. Kayvon Thibodeau, a beast in his own right. And now Abdul Carter, the rookie wild dog from Penn State. This D-line just went from solid to lethal. So let's do a real quick recap. We finally moved on from Daniel Jones. No more quarterback hell. We got a real QB room. Each one brings something different. And most importantly, they bring hope. We got Brian Daboll, Coach of the Year, who finally has the tools to build his team his way. No more surviving. We're about to start attacking. We got a defensive line that's flat out terrifying. Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Thibodeau, and a young wild dog in a dual Carter. You don't want to be a quarterback facing this front four. Not this year. And the best part, this team finally feels alive again. More third and longs, more turnovers, more highlight reel sacks, and way more primetime games. Because this defense is going to be fun to watch. I want to say thank you for watching the video and staying until the end. It's been a blessing that I finally finished this, considering that I almost got shot 2 weeks ago. If you liked the video, share it with your friends and fellow Giant fans. It was a lot of work and it means a lot to me because this is my first ever video. So thank you again, and I'll see you next time.